What's up, you guys? I'm Cole, and you're watching Seeds and Stems. Hello. That was Courtney.
Cole, stop.
Hello. No, I'm kidding. What's up, Grand Rising, Rural Rising, Rich Rising, but if you're watching this at night, good evening. So today I have a really fun video for you guys as I'm starting and embarking on my own journey, just sharing more of this knowledge that I have. I definitely want to give you guys some staples that I always have in my kitchen that I know a lot of people are looking for. So when we talk about living a more sustainable life and living a healthier life, we also talk about cutting a lot of dairy out of our diets. The first thing we think of is milk, cheese, ice cream, all those fun things that we like to eat that actually really aren't that great for our bodies. As I've mentioned in previous videos, cow's milk was meant for cows. Cows have 3 stomachs to digest that milk. We do not. Therefore, we should be looking for alternatives that are healthier for our body and easier for us to digest. So today we'll be making our own nut milks. If you do have a nut allergy, I'm sorry. Please watch one of my other videos. I will make some alternatives for you in a later video that you can consume. But today I'm going to be making 2 different types of nut milks. We're going to be making a cashew nut milk and a walnut milk. I really love cashew milk because it is super creamy, super rich, and high in protein, high in good fats. And then as well as walnuts are really great for your brain. They're high in omega-3s. So those are both the ones that I chose today for us to make. So let's go ahead and get started, okay? So first thing I have here is I have some organic walnuts that I picked up from Sprouts. I just got them yesterday, so they're still in this plastic container, else I would have already had them in a glass jar. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out a cup of these, and I'm going to put it into a bowl because we do have to let both of our nuts soak overnight, so that way they can get really, really creamy for us and they can break down really easily and we don't have a lot of particles. So I have my trusty measurer here, but if you don't have a measurer, feel free to just kind of finesse it, okay? We're all with a finesse. So let's go ahead and get about a cup of these nuts. So I have a cup of these nuts. We're gonna go ahead and pour this into this bowl. I have unsalted cashews here. You wanna use unsalted cashews because we don't wanna have to rinse all the salt off. You don't want your nut milk extra salty. It's kind of weird, right? We are gonna add a little bit of salt, but not as much as they're gonna put on your cashews, okay? Salt is for snails, not potatoes. I stole that quote from one of my friends. It's living with me, honestly, and I'm living through it. So we're gonna take 1 cup of these unsalted cashews and pour those into a bowl, just like that. Then after we have these in a bowl, we're gonna go ahead and take some natural spring water or filtered water, and we're just gonna fill it until it's covered and then pop that in the fridge. So if you have time the night before, this is when you wanna do this. At night when you're wrapping things up, cleaning up from dinner, go ahead and soak your nuts overnight, put them in the fridge, and then when you get up in the morning, you'll have them ready to go. So I'm gonna put these in the fridge, but because I'm prepared, I do have some that were already soaking, okay? So I have both of my nuts here that I've been soaking overnight. So as you can see, there's a little bit of debris and stuff that we have in the water. So we're just going to go ahead and strain these out and pour this water off really fast, okay? We're going to need a blender. We are going to need some spring water. We are going to need some vanilla, a little pinch of sea salt, and I'm going to be using dates to kind of sweeten up my milk a little bit because I do like my milk a little bit sweeter. However, if you like your milk just plain shorty, do your thing. You ain't gotta use no vanilla, you ain't gotta use no dates, you can just blend it up and make it do what it do, okay? However, I do because sometimes I like to use this milk for my lattes, or I like to use it for, you know, like other things if I'm making French toast. So I do like it to have that little hint of sweetness, and dates are gonna be a natural sweetener, a natural fruit sweetener that are gonna be really, really good for you, that aren't gonna be like all these like processed sugars, okay? So let's go ahead and get started on that. I'm gonna take these over to the blender. I am in a working kitchen today, y'all, so I do have a really fancy high-tech blender, okay? But let's keep it a buck. I ain't got that shit at home, okay? So whatever you got a NutriBully, you got a Vitamix, you got a Ninja, do the thing. It's all gonna work. So we're gonna take these and blend them up. Also, what you're gonna need is 2 nut milk bags. Now, if you don't have nut milk bags, I'm gonna give you the flex, okay? Take a clean white t-shirt. I know y'all be having clean white t-shirts, okay? Because y'all love to wear a white tee. So take a clean white t-shirt, and you can also use that. We're gonna use these to strain our nuts out when we're done blending them, okay? So I'm gonna grab my dates, I'm gonna grab my vanilla, I am going to take all of my nuts over to this fancy blender, and I'm gonna blend it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these cashews into the blender. All the cashews that are soaked. And then after I do that, I'm gonna take probably about 2 dates because I don't have that much, that many cashews in here. So I'm just gonna take about 2 dates. These dates are already pitted. And then I'm going to take a little bit of salt, like literally a little bit. And the next thing I'm gonna use is a little bit of vanilla extract. Like I said before, you can omit this part if you don't want that, but you can also like do it up if you want to. Wow, I didn't even open this before the video, you guys, sorry. Pause, 1 second. So we're gonna go ahead and pour a splash of this in here. Like I was saying earlier, you don't have to keep it in there, but if you do want to keep it in there, it is wonderful, it is delicious, but also you could jazz this up even more, honey. You could throw some cinnamon, you could throw some nutmeg, you could throw some cardamom in there, okay? You could really make it jazzy. We're gonna put a little dash like that. I am going to do about 1.5 cups of spring water. And we're gonna blend that up first. You can always add water, but I told you I do like my cashew milk to be a little bit creamier. My cashew milk is typically the milk that I would use if I'm gonna like froth anything or use for a latte or something like that. I would use my cashew milk because it is a lot creamier. Also, I use cashews as a base for like a heavy cream, as a coffee creamer and things like that. So if you wanna keep it a little bit creamier, use less water, but I'm gonna use more water for my walnut milk because that's typically the milk that I'm gonna use for my cereals and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and put this top on here. Place this on there. See if we want to add some more water to it or not. Look how creamy that is. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and strain it through, and we're gonna take this nut milk bag and set it right inside of here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in so we can get all those little chunks of the cashews out, as well as the chunks from the dates. We want to get those out as well. We are literally going to strain this milk through this nut bag. And that way you won't have any little particles. Well, if you have a really fancy blender, there's not a lot of leftover particles, but I do want to kind of show you guys what's left over in here. So you see, having the nutmeg or the t-shirt is going to get all those little particles out of there for you. And we're gonna do a little bit of our sea salt there. 2 of our dates. And I am actually going to skip the vanilla on this one, so I'm just gonna throw in 2 dates in there. I am going to toss in some water. I'm gonna eyeball this one. Like that. We might add a little bit more later, but that's where we're at with it right now. Go ahead and pop that on there. Actually, it's not as thin as I would like it, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss some more water in there really fast. And then we're just gonna go ahead and pour our walnut milk into this nut bag and repeat the process. We see how much thinner that is. But you guys, walnuts are so great for your brain health. I'm milking a nut. But yeah, as you guys can see, walnuts do have a lot more particles, especially because they do have the skin on them. So same thing when you're making nut milks like out of almonds and things like that, you're gonna use the same process. The only process that's gonna be different is hemp seed. Hemp seed milk will be a little bit different. So I will do a separate video on that, as well as coconut milk. I will do a video for coconut and hemp milk. But all the other nuts like walnuts, hazelnuts, all those things, it's the same process that you're doing for this right here. But remember, if they do have some of the skin on them, you are gonna have those particles. So either you're gonna wanna soak them long enough and peel the skin off, which is tedious, my friend, or you'll get a nut milk bag and make life a little bit easier. All this that didn't make the cut. Okay Okay, so once you have your milks all done and strained out and ready to go, we are going to go ahead and put them in some glass containers so we can store them in the fridge and use them for whatever we want to use them for. Baking, cooking, coffee, whatever, cereal, your wildest dreams, honestly. So we're gonna pour these in here. They last in the fridge for about 4 to 5 days. I wouldn't do anything longer than 5 days. So just kind of be mindful about that. If you are a forgetful person, what I would do is take just a little piece of tape, write the date that you made it on and the expiration date, just to make your life a little bit easier. But if you're constantly making it and you get in the habit of it, it'll be easy to remember, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this walnut milk into this glass container. And try not to make a mess, which I am doing anyways, because that is the story of my entire life. So I'm pretty sure there's like a funnel or something that you can use when you're doing it at home. But I'm just gonna grab a rag and wipe this up, okay? Cute. Okay. So just because we're just, we're making this for educational purposes, I did not make that much because I do have a bunch of milk already in my fridge that I made last Sunday. So this is what we have here. This is our walnut milk that is ready to go, ready for the drinking, for the taking, for the loving, honey, ready, okay? So we're gonna set that to the side. I probably won't date it because I do make milk often. And then we are going to go ahead and pour our cashew milk into this cylinder. And we're gonna try not to make a mess like we did last time. Look at that cashew creaminess though. Can we shout out one time for cashew creaminess? So there we have it. We have both of our milks. We have our cashew milk and we have our walnut milk here. So like I said before, you can do this with any nuts besides hemp seeds and coconuts. I will show you guys a separate video on how to do that. But in the meantime, you guys, it's so much more convenient, easier to make your own milk. You don't have all those extra preservatives in it, for one, and for two, it just gets you in the habit of making eating a ritual and changing your relationship to food and really understanding what the food is doing to your body that you're putting in your body. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of our problem is we just don't have the awareness of what it is that we're putting into our bodies, and all of that is either making or breaking our vibration, right? So cashews are really good, high in fat, really good healthy fats. And like I said before, I cannot stress enough how much walnuts are so great for your brain, because I love brain food. I have to work on my memory. I like to work on, just the way I process things and all of that self-help and development. It's really good to make sure that you're eating foods that complement that journey for you. So you want to do things that are complementary and not things that are counteractive, okay? It's okay. The camera person sneezed. And it just takes the little steps, the little things every day. So make that one change. We can all change by taking dairy out of our diets, you guys. This is not a fact that I'm giving you. It's not a fact of Cole. This is a scientific fact that we know that lactose in milk and all those things are really bad for our bodies. They're really hard for us to digest, and we really just should not be drinking them. So this is a healthy alternative. I gave you the keys. I let you know what's up. You cannot say you don't know now. Now it's just up to you to do better. Please stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends so all of you guys can start this plant-based journey together. It's so much easier to do it when you have accountability. If you turn on my notification though, you will see when I do make new uploads for this new journey I'm on with this segment of my channel. And in the following videos, I will also make sure to let you guys know what are the ways that you can use this milk that you just created. What recipes can we use it in? How many things have milk in it that you didn't realize? And how we can really get ourselves aligned and on a better track, okay? So I'm super excited about this, so stay tuned for the next episode so I can show you some fun ways to use this milk, all right? So I thank you so very much for tuning in to this very first episode of Seeds and Stems, and I hope to continue to grow with you all as I'm on my journey and you are on yours. Again, I did not come to teach you, I came to love you, and love will always teach you. Have a good day. Oh wow.
Good.
Cashew milk.
Okay, good. We don't want to steer the people wrong.